Have you ever felt that heavy, sinking feeling in your chest, like a storm you can't escape, when you realize you missed your chance? When the words you longed to say, the feelings you wanted to share, slipped through your fingers and vanished forever. Imagine standing alone, holding flowers, staring at a grave, whispering, "I love you," for the first time, knowing it's too late. This is the story of Arthur, a man who carried that regret for more than half a century. A man who learned the hardest lesson life can teach us. Time won't wait for courage, and silence never heals. If you've ever wished to turn back the clock, this story might change how you see your own moments and the people you love. Listen closely, because maybe, just maybe, it's not too late for you. Arthur Whitman spent his life working with his hands. He built homes, roads, and a legacy in a small town in the Midwest. But no matter how many houses he raised or how many winters he endured, the heaviest thing Arthur carried wasn't the weight of his work, it was the weight of silence. He never told Janie, the woman he loved since he was 22, how he truly felt. Decades passed, and when she was gone, the words he never spoke echoed louder than any hammer or nail. This is Arthur's regret, and it's a story we all need to hear. When I first saw Janie, it was one of those quiet evenings at the local diner, the kind of place where the neon sign buzzes softly and the smell of frying bacon fills the air. She was working the counter, tall, with those green eyes that seemed to hold the world in them. I was just a kid back then, 22 years old, trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted. He was just a kid back then, 22 years old, trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted. She called me darling, like it was the sweetest thing in the world. And maybe it was I quote, day, go there, after my construction shifts, just to see her. Sometimes I wasn't even hungry. I'd sit in the same booth, pretending to read the paper, stealing glances her way. She smiled a lot, but not the kind of smile that's loud and showy. It was quiet, kind, like she was sharing a secret only a few people knew. We started talking. After her shift, sometimes she'd sit down with me. We'd talk about books, movies, dreams, things that felt bigger than our little town. She wanted to see the world. I wasn't sure yet, but I was scared. I didn't say the words I wanted to say. I didn't tell her I loved her. I was afraid she wouldn't feel the same, afraid I'd ruin whatever fragile thing we had. So I stayed silent. Weeks turned into months. Every day I told myself, tomorrow I'll tell her. But tomorrow never came. Then one day she was gone. No warning, no goodbye. Just a note left with the cashier at the diner. Thank you for being kind. I'll miss our talks. She moved to Chicago for a job. I kept that note in my wallet for decades. Folded and worn, it became my most precious possession, a reminder of what I lost and what I never said. Over the years, I heard she married, had kids, built a life far from that little town and far from me. I saw her once, years later, walking across a busy street. She looked happy but tired. I wanted to call out. I wanted to run to her, but I didn't. I told myself it was too late. Then, 20 years later, I got a phone call from an old friend. Janie's gone. Cancer, quick and fierce. I didn't know what to do. My heart broke in ways I didn't know were possible. I went to her funeral, stood at the back, watching her son, a young man with those same green eyes, speak. After the crowd left, I went to her grave. I stood there for a long time. Finally, I whispered the words I never said all those years ago. I loved you, Janie. No answer, no second chance. But that moment broke something open inside me. I cried, not just for Janie, but for all the years lost to silence, for the love I buried deep inside my heart. Regret isn't just sadness. It's a lesson, a warning, Time won't wait for you to be brave. Silence won't protect you from pain. It only makes it worse. For years, I built walls around my feelings. I pretended I was fine, but inside, the regret took root. If I could speak to my younger self, I'd say this: don't wait, say the words. Tell the truth. Tell the people you love that you love them. Say sorry when you need to. Be honest with others, but especially with yourself, because one day you'll stand at a grave, or an empty room, or face a closed door, and all you'll have left are the words you never said. Arthur's story is a painful reminder that life is short and moments are fragile. If you're listening to this, whether you're young, old, or somewhere in between, don't wait for the right time. That time may never come. Reach out, speak your truth, say what matters. Tell your family you love them. Tell a friend you're sorry. Tell yourself you're enough. Because the hardest words, the ones that scare us the most, often carry the most healing. Regret weighs heavily, but courage to speak your heart can lighten that load. Don't let fear steal your chance, because some words, once lost, can never be found. Thank you for listening to Arthur's story. If it moved you, please share it with someone you love. And remember, don't wait to say what matters most. Say it now, before time slips away.